Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're covering a dramatic development in the ongoing war, Ukraine's recent strike on the bridge connecting Russia to the occupied Crimea peninsula. This operation is not only a tactical move, but also a psychological and symbolic message, showing that Ukraine can reach deep into enemy-held territory and target critical infrastructure. The bridge, often called the Crimean or Kerch Bridge, spans the Kerch Strait and links mainland Russia with Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014. Since the war escalated in 2022, it has served as a major logistics corridor for Russian troops, equipment, and supplies. Beyond its practical function, the bridge is a symbol of Russia's control over Crimea, making it a high-value target for Ukraine. On June 3, 2025, the Ukrainian Security Service (SBU) announced it had carried out an underwater explosive operation targeting the bridge's support pillars. According to their statement, approximately 100 kilograms of explosives were used to damage the structure. The operation was reportedly months in planning and involved precise placement of explosives beneath the water level. Russian authorities confirmed that traffic over the bridge was suspended for several hours, but later resumed, while Ukraine described it as a significant disruption to Russia's supply chain. This strike has multiple dimensions. Tactically, it demonstrates Ukraine's ability to reach key infrastructure behind enemy lines. Operationally, it temporarily disrupts the flow of troops, equipment, and supplies to Crimea and southern Ukraine. Symbolically, it challenges Russia's narrative of permanent control over the annexed peninsula, boosting Ukrainian morale and signaling capability to both domestic and international audiences. The execution of the strike reflects careful planning and sophisticated capabilities. Ukrainian authorities claim months of preparation, and the use of underwater explosives suggests significant intelligence and operational expertise. Previous attacks on the bridge have occurred, including partial damage from drone strikes, but this operation is notable for its scale and potential impact. Russian sources have downplayed the severity, emphasizing that traffic resumed, but the temporary disruption itself is strategically significant. The implications are profound. For Ukraine, it reinforces that Kiev is not merely defending, but can strike effectively in critical areas. For Russia, the strike exposes vulnerabilities in a key logistical route and may force the diversion of resources to repair the bridge, protect supply lines, or find alternative transport methods. The symbolic effect also matters. The bridge is a monument to Russia's control, and damage to it challenges the perception of invulnerability. The operational impact could be both immediate and long-term. In the short term, it may slow down resupply and reinforcement for Russian forces in Crimea and southern Ukraine. Over time, repeated disruption of critical infrastructure could degrade Russia's ability to maintain military momentum and control over occupied territories. Ukraine's capability to strike targets also places pressure on Russia to spread defensive resources more thinly, potentially creating vulnerabilities elsewhere. Despite the success of this operation, there are limitations and risks. The bridge resumed traffic, indicating that the damage may not be permanent. Russia has alternative supply routes, including maritime and air, which could mitigate the effect. Escalation risks are present, as Russia may retaliate with deeper strikes into Ukraine or increased military operations. Civilian impact is also a concern, as disrupted infrastructure may indirectly affect local populations. Strategically, a single high-profile strike is valuable, but sustained pressure and follow-through are necessary to produce lasting effects. The psychological and symbolic dimensions are significant. For Ukraine, the strike boosts morale and demonstrates capability to both domestic and international audiences. For Russia, it challenges the narrative of control and may affect public perception of Crimea's integration. The operation also plays into the information war, with each side framing events to their advantage. The attack coincided with other Ukrainian operations, indicating a broader strategy of targeting multiple high-value objectives simultaneously. Diplomatically, the strike could influence support from Western allies. Demonstrated capability to strike critical infrastructure may encourage continued or increased provision of advanced weapons and intelligence. It may also send a message to Russia that the cost of holding Crimea and sustaining military operations is rising, potentially affecting negotiation dynamics. However, the risk of over-reliance on spectacular strikes without translating them into tangible territorial or strategic gains remains. Looking ahead, several factors will be critical. Russia's response in repairing or reinforcing the bridge, Ukraine's ability to conduct follow-up strikes, potential escalation, and the impact on Western aid are all areas to monitor. Civilian impacts and the ongoing information war will also shape public perception and influence both domestic and international responses. The broader campaign of logistics disruption could become a decisive factor if maintained over time. This operation represents a maturation of Ukraine's strategy. It demonstrates coordination between intelligence, special operations, and strike capabilities, allowing Ukraine to target high-value infrastructure effectively. It highlights the importance of logistics and infrastructure in modern warfare, showing that the war is not only fought with conventional frontline combat, but also through strategic targeting of supply lines and critical assets. The strike underscores the fluidity of the conflict. Ukraine remains capable of taking the initiative, and Russia must contend with vulnerabilities that affect both military operations and strategic messaging. The event also illustrates the interplay between physical damage and psychological impact, reinforcing that infrastructure is both a practical and symbolic component of control. While the full military effect remains uncertain, the strike has clear immediate consequences and sets a precedent for future operations. It may force Russia to reconsider logistics and resource allocation, while providing Ukraine with operational and psychological leverage. Whether this strike becomes a turning point or a significant tactical event will depend on subsequent actions, adaptation by both sides, and the ongoing conduct of the war. In conclusion, Ukraine's strike on the Crimean Bridge is a bold operation that demonstrates capability, planning, and strategic insight. It affects logistics, morale, symbolism, and potentially diplomacy, illustrating that modern warfare extends beyond frontline combat into infrastructure, psychology, and information domains. The situation remains dynamic, and future developments will reveal whether this strike marks a strategic shift or a powerful moment in a larger, ongoing campaign. Thank you for watching. If you found this analysis informative, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments on what this strike could mean for the next phase of the conflict.